As I said, much of the well-funded anti-woke media have been providing a disproportionately large platform for the authoritarian right point of view. They have been featuring an increasing number of post-liberal right thinkers who are openly critical of classical liberal philosophy and even Buckley-Reagan-style fusionism. They are mainstreaming ever more extreme pundits who call for aggressively waging the culture wars. And then there is the clearly biased and moral panic-inducing reporting on all the common culture war issues, which serve to justify increasingly authoritarian policies. Classical liberals, many who started following anti-woke media since around the mid to late 2010s, have found the overall balance and manufactured consensus of such media outlets an increasingly uncomfortable fit with our own values and commitments. Many of us have criticized individual anti-woke public figures whose recent changes have disappointed us. Some of us have even gone further, pointing out the hypocrisy of opposing woke cancel culture but having no problem with right-wing governments banning books. However, we haven't been able to break through and get heard beyond certain corners of the internet. Our individual voices are simply no match against the well-funded anti-woke media establishment. In other words, our problem is one of getting heard in the first place. We classical liberals who are opposed to wokeism on classical liberal grounds need to be heard loud and clear. This is our most important objective going forward. And to get heard, we need to say something unique and different. In other words, there must be a particularly strong emphasis on where we disagree with the anti-woke establishment going forward. One easy way to do this would be to simply stand our classical liberal ground and oppose their increasingly authoritarian policy stances. We should be taking a strong stance against any attempt to whip up moral panics and usher in authoritarian policies. There are also other ways to stand apart from and against the anti-woke establishment. For example, we could insist on making our anti-wokeism philosophy-centered, while contrasting this with the culture war-centered version of anti-wokeism from the anti-woke establishment. The philosophical debates we can have against cultural systemism are actually highly intellectual and interesting. Let fusionism be dead and buried for good, so that classical liberals and the authoritarian right can finally face off like the philosophical rivals we actually are. If anything, it's going to be more philosophically honest than what we have now, which will make the classical liberal case against wokeism much stronger too.